Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Not really. What's interesting is what we're talking about today on the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. We made it. We're here.
Hey!
Yay. I got one yay. I'll take it. Strider notoriously not a yay.
Sorry, no, I just saw something that I want to read, that I'm reading, because very interesting and concerning.
Well, that's our lore expert Strider over there. I'm your co-host Fliz. Well, okay, you were the lore master for Resident Evil because, oh my god, I'm so bad at Resident Evil lore. We're joined here by our other wonderful member, KylarEmiya.
Hello. If you had to describe Resident Evil in one word or less, how would you describe it?
Biohazard.
You fucker.
Am I wrong?
You're not.
I'm cheating.
But I hate that you came up with such a perfect one so fast.
Can I, what's it called when you combine two words?
A conjunction?
No, there's another word.
Combine?
Bullshit?
Yeah. No. It's portmanteau. A portmanteau. I would call it horror slop if I'm gonna be real. And I mean that in the best way.
It's campy horror.
It's absolutely campy horror. Like if you love not Dawn of the Dead. I mean, yes, Dawn of the Dead, but like Evil Dead. It's in that same breath of like, yeah, this is horror themed, but it's also kind of jokey with like, I don't know. It's not trying too hard to be serious, obviously. Or maybe it is, and I've been reading Resident Evil all wrong. I know the first one is serious.
There's two tones to Resident Evil that show up in the games, and this one Resident Evil 9 had both of them. Because you have the campy horror with like Leon, Chris, basically when you're armed like to deal with the threat. And then there's the like more serious horror where you're under-equipped and definitely not equipped to deal with the situation like the beginning of 7 was. All of Grace's section in 9. Ethan kind of had it for the start of 8 again.
And then we fight a million werewolves.
Yep.
Well, I just can't help but think of that scene from the one of the animated movies, I think it is, like the rooftop fight.
Where they're just like running in circles shooting at each other.
Yeah, they're like swinging their guns and shooting at the same time. It's like so... Oh, I love it. I love
literally pulling the equilibrium gun kata.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is. And you know what? I have to like I'm a longtime Resident Evil fan, and I think we'll do spoilers after, but just for like a general consensus, like I loved this game, right? I have my issues with it, but this is like a 10 out of 10 recommend for anybody who's even mildly into horror. Like there's so much good stuff here. They took parts of 8. In fact, they took the part of 8 that I thought was the best and they turned it into like multiple sections for this, which was the big baby from 8. It's not quite the same here, but like the monster design was so good for a couple of them. Actually, all of them. I think I love the monster design for everything I saw. The action, like the pacing and the action was really good. Even the areas I didn't quite love had they just were, everything went pretty quick and even bombastically at points. Yeah, just a hard recommend. Especially after playing Silent Hill 2, which I know gets a lot of deserved love. Like the story in Silent Hill is so much stronger than I'd say most of the Resident Evil franchise.
Which Resident Evil would you say has the strongest story? Because I don't think Resident Evil games are known for cohesive, tight-knit writing and story.
I would say probably 7. is the one that comes to mind. It just has like the most, and that's the second half of the game I'm not a fan of, but like the first parts where you're in the swamp with the family and going through all that stuff. I think that had the most like captivating writing. Other than that,
where's everyone
the
going?
writing and the
bingo?
Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck. Writing has never been Resident Evil's strong point.
It's always the most campy part of it is the writing, especially
it is
Leon in any of his post first time games. So after
or
Resident
Chris,
Evil 2.
or I mean, it's weird because I was trying to remember the story. Unfortunately, there are some negatives about this. Like, if you don't know the story of the Resident Evil franchise, like all the way through, you're going to miss some stuff that's going on in this game. You're going to miss a lot of Easter eggs that pop up. You're going to miss like story beats that happen that if you didn't know from earlier, like you're going to be like, why is that happening? But during that, I was like, did this happen in the game or the movie? Like, which one am I thinking of? I know it's all canonically within the game series, but I think we just rewatched the whole movie series like a couple months ago. And you can tell from like trying to adapt the Resident Evil game stories into a movie format that the stories were never really very strong to begin with.
Well,
and that's okay.
I mean, the other thing with the live action series, the 6 movies, not counting the Raccoon City reboot one, is also like it's Mary Sue. My OC is the greatest character of all time problem too.
It's not just my OC. My wife is the greatest character of all time. That's his wife, the director. And that makes me hate. In fact, everybody hates that Welcome to Raccoon City movie. I thought that was the best one just because it most closely resembles the games themselves. And that and the second one, those are the two most Resident Evil game closest to the movies closest to the games out of those whole series, which is why I tend to like those ones more, even though everybody, I don't know, I think they're all bad, but those are the least of the best of the worst, I guess, in my opinion.
No, I like the one with the giant cities underground to reenact the spread of the virus for some reason.
Oh yeah, where she like gets a clone daughter that just disappears for the next movie because there's no continuity that actually sticks. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. That's my shit.
They could never just. I love that every movie in that series started going from literally watching them in order, like one after the other. You would still be lost because like they don't go into each other smoothly. Some are retcons, some are time skips, some are just lie what's going to happen at the end of the previous movie. They just drop a plot thread entirely.
You can't watch them as a solo experience or in continuity. It doesn't make sense either way.
You just can't watch the 6th movie. It's physically painful to watch.
I will say that is easily the worst one. That one is like on a technical level a monstrosity. That movie fucking sucks.
That 3.5 basement scene, I still don't know what happened because there's literally like 400 cuts in 3.5 minutes. It's so bad.
Every scene has 400 cuts. They could be talking or walking to the bathroom and they're going to cut to 50 Dutch angles in the process. It's terrible. And it's also going to be really dark. Don't worry about lighting. We don't need that.
They didn't worry about it for sure.
It's a scary thing. It's supposed to be so dark you can't see anything.
I'm just frustrated. I can't see a fucking thing. And anytime I can, it's because I just got flashbang and someone fired a gun in the darkness.
I mean, okay, so just to reiterate, like, oh yeah, that last one, Welcome to Raccoon City, had that scene that was like a fight in a hallway lit by gunshots that was almost impossible to watch. I remember. Just to get back to where we were, like I said, I agree with everybody on the internet. This is fantastic. Like, this is not a miss in any way. To anybody just looking for a good horror Resident Evil game, like it's up there. I enjoyed it far more than my Silent Hill 2 experience, and I think that's a personal preference. I found Silent Hill to be a slog, except for the story. Even though there were parts of the combat system I kind of liked. And I'm talking specifically about the Silent Hill 2 remake. I didn't get to play F. And I just kind of compare these two because I grew up with both of these in my PlayStation. I always liked Resident Evil more. I always thought it was more flashy and bombastic, and that's me. Strider, you saw the whole thing. What did you think without spoilers? Would you recommend?
I would definitely recommend it. I'd put it probably right around a solid 8.5, just from my experience watching you.
It seemed like you were having fun.
Yep. There are definitely some things I think it could have done better, but they're not like major things. And I'll probably get more into it. Yeah, we'll get more into it later. But that's about what. But I do strongly recommend it, especially if you're a Resident Evil fan.
Kyler, you saw a couple hours of it. Would you want to play it yourself, you little scaredy cat?
Hell no. No way could I ever play that game. You
really?
Crazy? Yeah.
You got through 8.
Oh, barely. I had the baby section. I had to hide in the closet for 2 hours.
I know. I was there. I watched you two play through Village, and I also watched another one of our friends play through. I got to see 3 different people play through that entire game.
Yeah, if you want to hear a full breakdown on that, we did a whole on our old podcast, the Dancer's Paradise podcast. If you can find it, we did a whole 2-hour breakdown of that. I mean, it's easy to find. It's still up. You just look for it. It's just movies. If you like movie talk, that's there, but we're not doing anything new there. We're doing it all here now where you are.
Yeah, we talked about video games in an old movie podcast.
We did. We couldn't figure it out. We're like, let's just go back to video games. We'll just, and then we talked about anime for hours. Who cares? Somebody stop me if you can. How about that?
Nothing's changed.
I mean, nothing's changed. Just the name.
I do. Oh, there might be some anime bonus episodes in the future, right?
Oh yeah, I don't hate that. I like some anime. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we'll get into spoilers from here on out. It's a hard recommend from all of us, unless you're a scaredy cat like Lionel, and then just watch another streamer play it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch people play. I could never. Oh my gosh, I can't handle it. Especially because you can't run in the game. So when the thing's chasing you, I can't stand that. It just I have to. The worst part I think I've ever had in a horror game is when that happens, where you can't run and something's chasing you. And I went to pause the game because I couldn't take it. But it's one of those games that you press pause, but it doesn't actually pause. And I just ended up turning my computer off.
Just left the room. I'll run in real life. Fuck it.
I don't even remember what game it was. It was some game where that exact thing happened. I tried to play it, and I never turned it back on. I never went back.
And what I really liked about this one is it definitely dove into the scarier elements. It took a lot of the things I really liked from 7. Was it 7 or 8? 8. And it tried to be a lot of things and succeeded. So it's a recommend from all of us, so I guess we'll get into spoilers. There's not a whole lot to really spoil I don't know. I didn't watch any trailer stuff. I didn't look at any. I still haven't looked at any Reddit threads. I haven't looked at anything about this game except for my own personal experience playing it. And I do have a few nitpicks, and I guess I can only nitpick these things because I do like it so much that I hope there's things that change in the next game. The writing generally is bad, but I don't think I want to change that. I think I want it to stay campy. I want it to stay goofy. I don't know who's in charge of writing these, but I kind of love them. You just in the very beginning, there's an assassin. Was that Victor in the beginning? Assassinating people, stabbing everybody in the neck. Everybody got stabbed in the neck so early. That was the first thing I saw.
I want to say it's someone working for him, I think, but I couldn't remember if it was him directly in the hotel at the beginning.
Yeah. Which I actually enjoyed Victor as a new character. I think as far as the villains go, they kind of, I don't want to say drop the ball, but like they weren't very fleshed out.
They did need to split it between two primary villains and then one was completely irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We only beat it the one time, and we made the choice at the end to release the virus. I think that's what it was. Yep. And we fought Victor. I have a feeling, like I said, I haven't looked anything up, but if you choose the other one, I have a feeling you fight the Wesker clone.
You don't. You don't. He just shoots Leon. It's just a cutscene bad end, like basically. It takes you back to the choice, from what I understand. It's just basically a non-canon.
Oh, really?
There's no boss fight. You never fight him.
That's so weird. Why is he even there?
Exactly. Like Zito is definitely like a dropped ball, and the fact that he kind of doesn't do anything the entire game and then dies.
Yeah, like there was fan service of him doing the Wesker bullet dodge, which was kind of fun to see. And but Wesker's like the guy, you know? Weird. I genuinely would have thought that you would have fought him if you chose the other option, and it would have been a different thing.
No, it's the fact that like Leon's in such a bad state when that choice has to be made that they couldn't really do a boss fight with the other choice because Leon just is basically almost dead.
It could have. In my head, I was like, maybe you have to fight a boss as Grace and like hide and, just do the little hide and seek game that you have to do with her all the time. I figured that would make sense, but I guess not.
Grace
I guess he just dies.
It would start. He would teleport right next to you and just immediately execute you with the fucking like rifle handgun he has. The contender.
Speaking of characters, how did we feel about Leon this time around?
He's Leon. He's basically our not basically the same type of personality and like how they treat him after Resident Evil 2 of just one man army.
He's so cool. He's so cool.
Which is weird because Chris was supposed to be the cool guy, from the first one. I've always been a Jill fan because I'm from like PlayStation 1 Resident Evil, and that was my girl, the master of lockpicking. And I never liked Chris because his playthrough you started with a knife and no lockpicks. It sucked. But I think Chris became a joke after the boulder punching and whatever the hell happened in Resident Evil 6. I don't know. I'll never know. And Leon was loved since 4. Everybody loved him in the RE2 remake. And here he is. He's so grizzled and badass this whole time.
He's so
the strangest
50.
part to me. He is.
He's so 50.
He's very 50. The strangest part to me about this is I feel like, correct me if I missed it, but he gets bit and like contracts the T virus in a totally different game that they never allude to.
No,
right?
No, that's not. So the thing that he's suffering from, him, Sherry, and a character that shows up towards the end of the game for a boss fight, is they're suffering from Raccoon City syndrome. There's a secondary infection that was airborne that everyone who was in Raccoon City developed, and it took decades for it to come in. And that's what's like his whole virus is that he has to deal with the entire game is what's dubbed as Raccoon City syndrome.
How did I miss that?
It's in one of the text dialogues.
It's just like a little, because it becomes such a major plot point that there was no cutscene or anything talking about it. It's just like, now suddenly you're sick, and I didn't understand why. So, cool, I guess. That's kind of like the bad writing part that I don't like.
Well, I mean, they hint at it at the very start.
Yeah,
right?
They hint, but it becomes such a focus towards the end of the game that you're like, did I miss? I know I was like concerned that I missed, like I must have slept through a whole cutscene or something.
It's like I think Gideon's the one who Victor is the one who refers to it at like towards the very beginning of the game.
Okay.
Well, even though whatever lady he was talking to was like, "We don't have long, Leon," and he's like, "I know," or whatever.
Yeah, that's Sherry, who is from Wait, who's the president's daughter? Is that Sherry?
That's Ashley. Sherry's the
Ashley. I kept getting my blonde girls mixed up.
To be fair, that's apparently a problem that Leon keeps having, is having to save blonde girls.
Well, it's a tough
There are
problem
worse
to
problems
have.
to have, you know.
The problem is that they're always from bioweapons in the worst situations. Sherry in fucking in the Raccoon City. He had to save Ashley from the cult, the Los Plagas cult in 4. And now he's got to save Grace from from the Connections in 9.
Leave the job. Like, if he's got to do the job, at least let him have the perks, okay? He gets to save all the pretty blonde ladies.
No, he doesn't have any perks because he's more like a dad than anything else. He wants Ada. He's after Ada.
No, so you know how he gets cured at the end of the game, right? And you remember the cutscene where he's walking away and he takes his glove off?
Mm-hmm.
He puts a wedding ring on during that cutscene because you could see it in the concept art for him. Now that once he gets cured, so he's married to someone.
Ada.
Probably.
That's my canon. I choose Ada. Or Chris. Chris would be. Oh my god, that'd be dope.
All I can think of is the fucking bloodline joke that the English community has for it, where it's just Chris trying to ship Leon with Claire the entire time because he wants the bloodline to continue.
I remember that now. Now that you say that, yep, I remember
that was meme for so long.
It was.
Speaking of female characters, Grace is our intrepid. Is she an FBI investigator? What is her job title?
Analyst, right?
Yeah, I think it's like field analyst.
Okay, so her job title says that she's in the field, and an analyst would tell us that she's good at analyzing and investigations.
I know where you're going with this.
You would think that that's what this means, right? Okay. For one, this girl needs some serious, therapy before she gets put in the field. Like, from moment 1, she cannot handle being alone. She, freezes up. She's got PTSD. She's got a whole litany of issues that need to be taken care of. I don't want my police force out on the street when they're suffering from hallucinations and also maybe not hallucinations, but just, she needs some self-care.
Yes. They do hint though through the game that her being deployed back to the hotel where her mother died wasn't necessarily a mistake, because it's hinted that the Connections were responsible for them basically kicking off the entire thing. Okay,
and the Connections are like an evil
they're whatever
shadow organization,
Zeno
right?
And Victor belong to.
It's Umbrella, I guess.
It's
or pseudo Umbrella.
It's because Umbrella at this point is completely defunct.
Yeah.
So it's basically to take their place.
Okay.
We don't know how big it is. We don't know where Zeno it is on the hierarchy, because he could have been the leader, he could have not.
I hope there's a DLC. I think I remember him taking orders from somebody. I could be wrong though. Okay, so let's say she just had, forced immersion therapy. Fine, whatever. I hate to say it, towards the end of the game, I was getting real mad at her stutter. It started off kind of light, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the stutter, right? It's fine. People have them. It just got so pronounced in the later half of the game that I was like, today, Junior,
stop having a disability.
Well, because it didn't seem like she had it in the beginning. And you could say she is going through a lot of stress and that activates the tick and all that stuff. That's well-known science. I still hate it.
I mean, she basically starts studying and seeing shit starts going wrong.
It's just so prevalent.
Because I actually think that she's more in control of herself at the end of the game, even if the stutter's still there.
That's what I thought. I thought she's she's been through these but she's been through these traumatic, not regressions, but she's been through all this stuff, and you think she's stronger, and she is a stronger character in action. But then when she speaks, she's worse than she ever was.
I mean, it's also like a more serious situation, like at that point towards the end of the game.
I guess we can. I still was annoyed.
Yeah, it's it's just she has a disability in the form of a stutter, and then it becomes more pronounced the more serious the situation is. But the way she's treated in terms of like how she acts, it definitely seems like she's more confident in herself at the end of the game compared to the beginning. Which
character progression is good. I like that.
Because also you also have to have in this type of game where you're doing the two play styles is the juxtaposition of how characters treat the situation. Because Leon is used to this type of situation by this point.
Leon says, "Give me my unlimited Uzi and my motorcycle, and you can go around flipping light switches." Like we said, she is a field investigator. Which means, and you know what? Like, she's young, obviously, mid-20s, somewhere around there. To have this job, she would have to be exceptional in her field, right? To be this young, to have this much responsibility, all this stuff. You're in the hospital towards the beginning of the game, and it's weird because I have to suspend my disbelief for certain things. Like, obviously there's, quote, not zombies, but quote unquote zombies wandering around. That's fine. I can live with that. There's secret chests, and like, for some reason in a hospital, there's like secret walls that, you need 2 orbs to fix. And I'm being very general here. That's not exactly how it went, but that's, what I'm talking about. Like I have to just suspend my disbelief to be like, this can exist. This isn't like an architectural nightmare that would never exist in actuality. There is one point where she encounters a young blind girl who is, what's her name? Emily?
Yes.
Okay. And she is obviously some sort of experiment. There's cloning going on. They're trying to use blood to make more T-virus stuff or something. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Emily is blind, and this becomes a huge plot point because she goes into a room and there's a puzzle she has to solve that requires the puzzle she solved before that was like that had symbols that she could recognize and use and like enter the code. This puzzle, however, has Braille on it instead of the actual visual symbols. I can see how if it was a complicated puzzle, she would do what she did. She's like, I gotta go get the blind girl who knows how to read Braille, and she can show me what the answer is. The problem is that we looked at that puzzle for 2 seconds and immediately we're like, oh, this is the answer. Yep. It's impossible for anybody with any semblance of intelligence to not understand that the word moon has more letters than the word sun. Yeah. Braille shouldn't be that hard to figure out at this point.
Because the problem is there's a few pieces of information you have to make it really simple. Is that it's four choices. It's 4 symbols that you have to press, and there's 3 symbols. There's a sun, a star, and a moon. But the answers are all in Braille, right? But you see in the notebook right next to you that the answer is 2 repeated symbols, as I think it's like moon, moon, sun, star, right?
Yeah.
When you have only 3 choices, being it twice in a row means that you only have 6 possible combinations that you have to try.
Yeah.
Even if you were blindly guessing. The other problem is that if you look at Braille, one of the words is shorter than the other 2, and only one of them has double letters, so you can figure out what they are immediately by that alone, by just simply looking at which one has repeated, because that means it's moon, and which one's shorter, which means it's sun. It took us 10 seconds to solve that, if that.
The letters in Braille are 1 for 1 with letters in the English alphabet. Like, it's not that difficult. Our FBI investigator says, oh no, I don't know what to do. I have to backtrack through the whole fucking hospital to go get the blind girl and drag her with me up to this room so she can do the puzzle. And I could not, we were dying trying to understand how this writing worked. Like, if you'd made a more difficult puzzle, if you'd made it so, I was trying to think of ways to insert that same puzzle in a way where she would have to. A regular human being would have to go get this blind person. I was like, well, maybe if the room is dark and she can't see anything in the room and she needs the, blind girl to go feel around, well, then just get a flashlight. Well, what if there's a electromagnetic pulse emitter that stops flashlights? Like, there's no regular scenario that would prevent her from she could just mash her face against the keyboard and solve this puzzle. It's crazy that you could take she has a learning disability if she can't solve this puzzle. So that was a big thing that it really took us out of it for a second. We were in disbelief that this, like, being forced to go do this thing when we could have easily solved the puzzle on our own. It was a weird choice for somebody that's supposed to be a special agent. So that was one of those writing things that was kind of rough. Trying to think what else, because we beat it a few days ago. There were some areas I didn't like. The thing unless you got more character stuff.
One thing I did not like is that they basically tried to completely retcon Spencer. Was one thing I didn't like. And for those who don't know, Spencer, I can't think of his last name right now. Spencer was the CEO of Umbrella, and he's the one responsible for the T-virus and the derivatives that would follow. So he's like responsible for most of the horrific things that happen in Resident Evil. They changed his character in the fact that he's not a quote unquote total villain anymore, because they changed it so that he decided that, oh, I actually feel regret for my actions because I can't achieve I forget what he says, but it's like he can't achieve things at the expense of others' happiness is like roughly what he paraphrases at one point.
Yeah.
And it's like, this man is responsible for millions of people dying.
He's responsible for the only nuke dropped on U.S. soil in history.
He's responsible for the whole thing. The best part is his way of atonement is to take care of this random child, who turns out to be Grace. That was the part that got me, is this man who had such an ego that basically, wanted to be basically God to an extent, was and I was responsible for everything. He never had any regrets. The number one thing he was regretful for was the fact that Wesker killed him in 5. And then he didn't get to see his plans to fruition. But it turns out that he actually recorded shortly before his death a whole video with Grace's mother. It was like, I was regretful. I regret what I did. I'm going to atone by taking care of this child. You can't achieve what your dreams at the expense of others' happiness. And it's like, okay, Mr. God Complex, who is literally responsible for some of the most horrific weapons we've ever seen.
That's character development if I've ever heard.
That's character assassination is what that is. It's completely at odds with everything else that's happened.
You wouldn't understand, all right? You just wouldn't get it,
Yeah, you got to be a real good writer.
Yeah,
a writer for the Resident Evil series.
That's my hero. When I grow up, I want to be just like Spencer.
Yes. No, here's a quote from Resident Evil 5. I was to become a god, creating a new world with an advanced race of human beings. However, all was lost with Raccoon City. Despite that setback, creation holds great significance. Because I think he's talking about Wesker's whole situation there. Now my candle burns dimly. Ironic, isn't it? For one who has the right to be a god, to face his own mortality. This is not the dude who's gonna regret fucking getting so many people killed. No. This is not Mr. I'm sorry. Are you kidding me? This is not the character. It's completely unnecessary, and I can't swallow it. It's just so against the established lore. It's such a
I was happy to have you there because I didn't even know that. I thought that was the doctor from the second movie. because they're both doctors in wheelchairs with daughters. I was like, oh, this is that guy. No, that's not canon.
No, none of the movies
That's not even a thing.
They're not the same continuity as the games. I'm not sure if the animated movies are. But I knew that was it. And I was like, what the fuck did they do? Why? Because it's important is that, because I don't actually think we've explained it, is that the thing he does for Atonement, in addition to taking care of Grace, is that his final development is an antiviral for all of the disease, all of the bioweapons he's made, for the T virus, the G virus, and all similar things. Like, in a way, this was kind of they could have closed out Resident Evil if they wanted to here, with kind of how it was kind of a wrap up of a lot of threads that have been woven through like 2 to 3 decades worth of the game.
How would that work? Does that take in like Las Plagas? I don't remember how all that worked. I thought that was like a whole separate thing.
Like, the way they're phrasing is basically going to be the end. Like, I mean, of course they can just go, oh, this next virus it is not stopped by Elpis. But yeah, no.
Of course. You can find a way. I didn't even really understand why we were fighting Victor in the end. Like, I'm sure you can explain it to me, but to me, I was like, wait, aren't we both happy that the thing was released? Isn't that what you wanted?
What Victor was getting from Spencer is once that weapon is deployed, it's going to completely crash like the power balance of the world, because all the world powers have bioweapons, right? To use in war. And when that's turned on its head, when none of them work anymore because they're all cured, it's going to soak complete chaos. And that's what Victor wants, is basically to plunge the world into chaos. Is how he.
What a hero. See, he's getting rid of all these biological weapons.
Yeah, we're going back to regular ass nukes.
Which is not. So that's the whole thing. Because the code to unlock Elpis, the magical code, because you have one chance to input the code, like lore-wise, otherwise it explodes, basically. And the answer is, the question is, what did what did Spencer wish for? And the answer is hope, which is where you get the choice of whether or not to destroy Elpis or not, is whether or not you input hope.
Is that capitalized or lowercase?
Fuck.
Case sensitive.
What do you mean there was a 0 and not an O in hope?
What do you mean there's a CAPTCHA? I'm busy.
Select bioweapons? What the fuck?
It's 2-factor authentication.
It's been sent to you.
I don't have a cell phone. I can't. It's goofy. It's funny how the game really was trying to keep it low key to some degree. Up until the city part, because you do eventually go back to Raccoon City, which I know, Strider, you were hyped for.
Yeah, because they was hinted at in the trailers that because the game's basically split into 2 parts. There's the whole care center at the beginning and everything directly following it, and then the second half of the game is Raccoon City's ruins, and the second Umbrella facility below it. For some reason, they just built 2 of them.
They built another one. Come on. You can't use old stuff. You got to use new equipment.
It's not even new equipment. They were built side by side, and it's just been there the entire time, I guess.
They brought back the naked lab zombies. That was kind of cool. And they brought back the lickers. I like the lickers. Man, the monster design. Okay, the big girl. I don't know what her name is. The girl. The big lady, and then the fat guy who eats all the zombies. Those were great. I love those character designs. I don't know how good they were as enemies, but it was very reminiscent of Big Baby from 7, 8.
From 8.
Like they leaned people like that part, and they leaned really hard into it, which was super cool. I think it was a really well done. It never at any point felt like a slog. Like I wanted to be Leon. Here I wanted to be I never wanted to go back to the other character. Like I felt like both sides of the game were done really well, and the appropriate amount of time was put into each.
My number one thing, with the pacing, the small nitpicks I have is that they overdid the find 3 plot MacGuffins to progress, because it's literally every single section. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally every Resident Evil game, though, so I was expecting that.
I think it's more the fact that it's, not a huge area that's find 3 things and then pick up. There's not like linear areas. It's always find 3 things, like every time.
Yeah.
Because usually in Resident Evil there is the find 3 section, but there's also some linear segments that are like just find this thing to progress, or just move through this area, like the sewers, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But it's literally just 3 things. 3 things, 3 things, 3 things over and over. And then the problem I have with that is the last one, the detonators parts. I think that section went on for a little long. I think they could have they could have like cut that section in half and then had you go through like one more area in Raccoon City. Like have you go through the zoo with just like
that would be cool. Because I didn't want to play Leon less, but I was not the biggest fan of revisiting Rack because it was just looking at brown destroyed stuff for like 2 or 3 hours.
Because that is the general consensus, is that the first half of the game is stronger than the second half, just from what I've seen people say. Is the fact that because like people think that Raccoon City overstays the welcome.
I mean, I enjoyed the police station. I wish it wasn't destroyed by a nuke. I would have had way more fun in like a regular ass city. But I get lore wise, it's the correct option. For fans of the series, it's the correct option. Having tofu pop out, I didn't know that was a thing. We heard bouncing sounds in Resident Evil 2.
I caught it like on the edge of your screen. I was like, what was that? And we're trying to figure it out. We're wandering around the room, and eventually we figured out it was tofu.
Tofu was just hanging out outside, and Hunk showed up for an impromptu like battle. I don't know where that came from, but suddenly we're doing the knife fighting scene.
There's no hint that Hunk is there, and Hunk is my favorite character in the entire franchise, just because I'm always a sucker for like just the elite special forces, because he is Umbrella's #1 operative. Like when they need something done, they send him in.
It was just funny because there was no build up to it. There was no introduction. You were just, now you're fighting a favorite character, a mainstay of the game series. So that's fun. Plus the fight was fun. That was probably the most engaging and fun fight. As much as I love the creatures and boss design, I don't think any of the boss fights were particularly stand out. Like, we were talking about, there's a scene where you go in Raccoon City and fight Plant 42, which I think that's from the first Resident Evil. And it's just, you shoot the buds as they pop open. But I felt like there should have been more to the fights that was more like added a puzzle element. Like instead of shoot the plant until it dies, maybe you have to like recognize the pattern that the plant opens and shoot specific things, or, move out of the way. Honestly, I just stood there and face tanked all the damage and just shot the plant until it died. And that was pretty much all the boss fights for me. I assume it becomes more difficult as you up the difficulty, but
there's only one difficulty higher than what you did. And from what I understand, Insanity is poorly balanced. Like,
in what way?
It's horrendous, basically. It's literally the general consensus is play through the game once, get infinite ammo, and then do Insanity, because you're going to basically need it. Because it's...
Oh, shoot. Okay.
I
was wondering.
It's like unfairly hard, like to the detriment.
Yeah, there were some weird. I wasn't sure about doing headshots. There's like gun kills you can do with Leon that I only triggered like twice. I didn't realize that I don't know how you trigger them, but
so
I
was looking to do it after. It's I believe the way you do it is the enemy has to be near death, and you can't overkill it by too much, but you basically quickly aim and shoot. And if that shot would kill them, you'll do the cinematic. Because I think you did it like, was the first one at the end of the game?
No, I did one with Chris. I shot some guy against a table or something, and then the other one I hit somebody with a sniper rifle. Yeah. Which was cool. And the chainsaw stuff, that was a lot of fun. I was really excited. Yeah, when the zombies were passing the chainsaw to each other. There were a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that I really liked when it came to the combat. Right. I really expected a dodge function based on how the game played and how it felt. It really felt archaic not to have a dodge function. And like I said, I literally just finished Silent Hill 2 before this, and that had a dodge, like a dodge counterattack type of gameplay, which I I don't know if I enjoyed it more, but that function felt a lot more natural than what was going on in this game.
Yeah, because it took you till literally the final boss for you to realize like the main way to avoid damage. Because you kind of just traded your way through most bosses if you needed to. Because it was only the last one where you just started realizing that, hey, this hatchet can literally parry anything.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I didn't really think about that.
You figured it out during the final boss where you realized that the way you actually avoid damage in that final boss was you literally just stood still and just parried every attack till the boss was dead. Because you would shoot it between parries.
I figured that out with the plant fight, I think. Because with Grace, you don't have the parry. So, half the game you're not even using it. And then when I finally figured out, I was like, is this really what you do? Like you just stand there and parry? That seems a little that's a little bland. But I guess that's it.
Yep. And that's the way because the boss fights were a little rough and that they were kind of too simplistic and that a lot of the times you were like, is this it?
Yeah. And I was thinking about that and I was like, I don't know if the old Resident Evil games, any of them really had much more going on than that. I think for most of them, you are just, dodge the attack, shoot the guy, dodge the attack, shoot the guy. That's it. I think there's some in the newer ones. Like I remember, one of the T-virus monsters running along the buildings and you had to shoot and dodge and stuff.
I think the big thing is there's no set piece cinematic boss in terms of like the one I'm thinking of is towards the end of 5 where you got the space laser to deal with the the one lady turning into like the giant worm monster on the boat. So you eventually need to work your way through the boat to get up to the thing that calls down the satellite laser.
Yeah, you had the boss fight in 4 that had the boat with the giant fish, and you had the same thing in 8 with the giant fish. The giant fish ones are kind of fun because it's just something different happening, Yep. It's not just shoot and move and shoot and move. So I felt like those could have been a little stronger, but I guess those aren't really the main focus. It's the journey, not the ending, right?
The thing is, Leon has like a bunch of boss fights. Like he has quite a few throughout the course of the game. He's
got the spider. He's got Victor. He's got
the giant baby in the attic, and the fat dude in the attic.
Yeah,
he's got the spider. He's got the tyrant. He's got
Mr. X. Yep. Mr. X shows up again.
Yep, he's got the
I fucked up. I got the rocket launcher from Victor and then I missed.
Yeah, so apparently Victor can pick up the rocket launcher, right? During that fight.
I think he dropped it. I shot him and he dropped it.
Because I think it's like laying on the side. So like either you can pick it up first or he can pick it up and drop it. But if he fires at you, you can just parry the rocket.
Shut up.
Leon literally just parries the rocket away.
Nice. What a hero. That's my and people
Leon is aware of the fact that
Leon
is aware of the fact he's an action hero.
Well, okay. So I kind of like made it my own headcanon because the new Wesker gets cured of the virus and
he does it to himself. He does it to himself.
He literally goes, my powers. I was like, shut up. But then because of that, I'm thinking, well, Leon's infected too. So, does that mean he has powers? Because it sure does feel like it when he's, doing his motorcycle flips and shit.
Yeah, no, the motorcycle thing where he at one point, it's like you're racing to follow Grace because she's heading to the facility underneath Raccoon City. Ark, right? Ark was the one in this game because Ness was 2. But you're heading to Raccoon City and Victor shows up and you get into a fight with him on a motorcycle, right? And there's also these giant infected dogs that only show up there. They don't show up anywhere else in the game. But you basically kill the dogs, and then you get into a shootout with him. Like as you're chasing, you're racing down the highway. He'd get in front of you, rocket launcher the thing, so you take a detour. But eventually, there's literally a point where Leon just fucking floors it up a skyscraper, and clears this jump. He has no idea what's on the other side because it's like a tilted over. It could be a 300-foot drop. This man just floors it. And he just sails. Thankfully, there's another building on the other side facing the other way. Thankfully, that you ride down. And then after that, you literally have a joust with Victor on motorcycles. We have to shoot his fuel tank.
It's like an old school samurai in the fucking weeds waiting to dash at each other and see who gets the first cut, except it's on motorcycles with machine guns.
It's definitely the point where like it's kind of like, okay, let's not go too much further.
You guys know what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, I had a smile on my face for a good chunk of this game, which I cannot.
What were some of your other favorite moments throughout the game that we haven't brought up, if there is any we're forgetting? Because I know one thing we got a kick out of was when you misunderstood what you needed to do for the spider boss. And you didn't get away from it, so it locked you in the corner and just kept swatting you every time you got up. So you just sat there for 2 minutes just getting your ass beat by a spider.
Well, okay, there's this thing. I know you told me it was cope, but I definitely have this problem with these Resident Evil games where if I like take too much damage or I use too much ammo, I'm going to restart whatever I'm doing. Like I'm ready to just die. And that was one of those moments where I'm like, well, I know I fucked something up here. So I'm not going to like try and eke out a win here. I'm just going to kind of eat shit.
You burned through all of your healing items.
Yeah, and then I died because I burned through all my healing items and I didn't want to walk away from that fight with no healing items, so I just restarted.
So don't get me I wanted to restart there. You tried something the entire time.
No. I mean, the proof here is how well stocked was I by the end of the game. What was there a chance I could lose the last fight with how my stock was?
Yes, there's always a chance.
Wow.
Hey man,
he thinks I'm bad. It's not as bad. There's a scene in the in the basement where a zombie on a tractor comes at you. And you were giving me shit because the first time I encountered it, I was just like, I think I die here. And I just didn't do anything. And I let the zombie. Then I realized, wait, I have a gun. And I shot him.
The bulldozer busts through the wall and you just stop. You just stop and stare at it for like 6-7 seconds. You went, oh yeah, I have free will. Bang, bang.
Well, in my head, I was like, this Resident Evil games, there's a cutscene that's going to happen where I'm going to get saved. Like, I don't want to waste my ammo because there's probably going to be a thing that happens where I didn't have to waste ammo. And the same thing happened with the spider fight where I was like, well, okay, now that I know I don't have to waste any of that ammo. There was another character I was trying to kill. Was it Mr. X? And I was just like,
yeah, you kept shooting him with the revolver.
I had to. Yeah, I dumped my whole inventory into him. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not supposed to kill him. So I just let him kill me and restarted with all my stuff.
I always immediately call him like, you're just supposed to run here. You're not supposed to fight.
I know, but my previous experience with Resident Evil games tells me if I do kill him here, in a lot of the other ones, you're not really supposed to kill the character there, but you get something cool if you do. So why not try? And if it doesn't work, I'll just restart.
Mr. X just works the same way he does in the remake of 2, where after enough damage, he just gets stunned for a while.
Yeah, and then he comes back. I think you hear X gonna give it to you from down the hall.
Don't worry, someone made that meme again for this one. I'm very first. One of the other first things I checked. Also, like, I think my favorite part in the game is literally the hunk boss fight.
That was easily the best boss fight. Yeah, you were really excited for that. And it was fun too.
I saw people's reactions. Everyone, Resident Evil fans were losing their mind. They were like, "Holy shit, why is Hunk here?" Because he's never shown up in as the story. He's always bonus content, doing something story relevant, but just never in the main campaign. But dude shows up, has the best boss fight. It's only like 90 seconds because he can kill you in like 1 or 2 seconds. Like he has Leon dead to rights at the beginning cutscene for that fight, but he doesn't shoot you because he wants the fight. Because he wants to throw hands with Leon.
For some reason.
It's because it's Hunk. Hunk wants the fight. Because they go, like, the very first thing you see is that, like, because he just walks through a door. It's the first instance you have that he's there. And they're like,
and then you
backups on the
fall
way.
from
And he's
like
like,
3 stories tall.
because he's like, backups on the way. He's like, don't need it. I've got this.
And then he dies in 90 seconds. Also, if you get too far away from him, he pulls out a gun and shoots you. Also, fighting. I don't want to fight people with guns in Resident Evil. That was the most off-putting section to me when you're in the thing.
Because it's the first time in the series that you fight non-infected humans.
Well, it was that, but it was also like it wants you to play it like a cover shooter, but the cover shooter mechanics don't really exist in this game. So it's just really clunky at the end of the day. It's the same kind of thing where it like kept giving me scopes for sniper rifles, but I never had to fight anything that was far enough away where I needed a scope. Like it was, and I didn't expect there to be. It's just a weird thing the games do.
Yeah, with the hunk boss fight though, is because at the end of it you put the hatchet to his throat. That doesn't kill him, because if you leave the room and come back, his body's gone.
Well, he's a very strong man.
Like
he's a hunk if you.
Mr. Death, he just does not die. But like the thing with that is because in Insanity difficulty, during the hunk boss fight, he gets soldier backup. They show up for, I think, once you get him to half health, like once he triggers the flashbang and tries to neck snap you for the first time, soldiers will show up. And if you leave the room and come back, the soldier bodies will still be there, but his body will be gone. And you can, the other thing that hints that it's hunk is when you beat him, his glove falls off, and you can see that he's suffering from Raccoon City syndrome as well.
Oh, because Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, because he's the 4th survivor.
Yeah. There really wasn't too many characters in this game. It didn't feel overly bloated or anything. There wasn't like a ton of... There was a lot of little knickknacks and Easter eggs in the Raccoon City Police Department that I thought were cool. But other than that, like, you just had your 2 characters, and I guess there were a couple side characters, but nothing that really mattered, which was nice. Didn't get too bloated like what Resident Evil 6, where just I'll never remember what the point of that game was, and I don't want to. That was like the worst. I was not a fan of 5, definitely not a fan of 6. I'm really happy ever since 7 and the remakes of 2 and 3. I've been really happy.
I'm very interested in when 5 because it's remade.
I don't want them to just do 1. Why haven't they redone 1?
I mean,
I know there's like 2 or 3 versions of it.
From what I understand, they are doing a full remake of 1 as well. That's supposed to come out.
Hell yeah!
It's either
that's my number 1. I think
there's also 0 is being remade. I mean, the thing is, like, no matter what remake gets made next, we're getting Wesker. Like, we're down to the Wesker games.
I'm still tripping off that. I even like that Resident Evil show where they had Black Wesker. I thought he did great, and then they just shut the whole show down. I guess he died in real life, which is sad, but I just thought that was a cool idea to have Black Wesker. Yeah, I can't, even though I've been bitching for the past hour about goofy shit, I can't stress enough how much I enjoyed this over Silent Hill 2. There were points playing Silent Hill 2 where I was just like in the dark for hours and hours at a time. I was like, please put me in the sun or make something happen. The puzzles in that game are way better for sure. But the it's so much slower. And I know it's about atmosphere. It's just not my speed at all. I need more of what this was. I'm really happy about it. The only thing I'm really sad about with this current Resident Evil is there wasn't like a mercenaries mode. I was sad that didn't like pop up after.
No mercenaries, no raid.
Yeah. I really enjoyed those from, I think, 4.
Yeah, no, because like one of the things I'm seeing people really complain about this game is the replay value is much lower in terms of the fact that there's no ranking system and there's no true new game or new game plus.
Really?
Like it keeps you some of your stuff but resets a bunch of it. But there's like no way to do just a full fresh file or carry everything over.
Oh. I haven't found that out yet. I still haven't started it up again, but first I was going to see like what I can achieve on like the easiest mode so I can just speed run the game again and see what I can get out of there. Cause I I spent my money on the wrong thing. I was tired because oh my God, I have been catching up from playing that all week long. You said, let's stay up and finish it. And it was like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning and I had to go to work the next day and my whole week got fucked because of it. I have been running on fumes, but I guess it was worth it because, we're here now.
We got through it.
I'm sorry you weren't. Lionel's had a busy week, so he wasn't able to watch for all of our late night Resident Evil play.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry. I was able to stream a little bit of it. I was having fun with that. I haven't streamed in a long time. If y'all are listening, Flizzo/Twitch. Twitch/Flizzo? I don't know.
It's
maybe
that
long sometime there.
Doesn't even remember.
Dude, reopening and find out.
Long.
Reopening your stream and realizing I was still subbed for like 9 months or whatever.
Hey, man.
I'm ahead of Lionel now, I think, I'm on by like 5 or 6 months now, just because my streak's been unbroken.
Ooh. Sorry, it pays for Adobe.
That's basically
it really does. Adobe's like $30-$40 a month, man. They ain't playing. I think it's $39.99.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is, especially when it crashes all the time.
That's Adobe.
That's Adobe. Oh man, there's one episode we did recently where I just scrapped like the whole audio visual thing going on because I let it render for like 4 hours and it's like, oops, error, and it made a weird frog sound. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not doing this again.
There's frogs in my computer. What the fuck?
Or it's a cricket, like a cricket sound pops up. It's a weird sound that I don't know why that's what they use. It's some weird animal noise that you hear, like, yeah, which is weird coming from Adobe that has all this stock shit. So whatever. I guess I don't really have much else to say.
There's two small things I want to bring up because I forgot about them until now. Is back to when we were talking about writing. There's two moments that got me. One moment is the fact that Leon apparently so halfway through the game, like right in between part 1 and part 2, like it's kind of like at the end of it, is the girl Emily is infected and mutates, right? And Leon shows up like right as this is finishing up. So, and then he basically shoots her a bunch and puts her down, and Grace is losing her mind. But it turns out at the end of the cutscene, because Leon tries to say this here, but it's not brought up till the end, is apparently he shot her in non-vital areas. Is the way they phrase it. But
no, I shot that monster in the face as many times as I could.
You actually don't have to shoot there, for what people were saying. Like it still progresses the same, but you don't have to shoot there. You're fine not. But he shows up, shoots her, and he tries to tell her that, like, at that point, because he gets interrupted before he can get it out, but he's going to tell her that I shot her not vitally somehow. Not sure why, since all Leon has been doing has been the Terminator for these bioweapons the entire game and for the rest of it. But he knows in this one instance to not shoot her. But no,
because all he sees is giant monster about to eat. He doesn't even know who Emily is, does he? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he technically does, because he sees her when you're providing Overwatch, right?
Oh, yeah.
With the sniper rifle. So I think he puts it together, but it's just the fact that he runs in there. And for me, with how you were playing, just starts blasting her. Like, unloads.
She's, don't shoot. Bang, 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 bang. No, don't worry. It's going to be fine. Bang, 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 bang.
Have you seen the Cyberpunk Edgerunners edit of David running to the cop and shooting the cop? That people have made where he literally unloads, reloads, and keeps shooting. I'll try to find the GIF, and it's one of my favorite edits. But it's exactly what I was thinking of when you did that, where you just unloaded, and then finding out that Leon actually just shot her in non-vital areas. It's like, okay, Capcom. But the other piece of writing that got us was the ending cutscene where Grace goes, "Yeah, I'm teaching Emily how to read," and we both go, "Wait." What?
Because up until this point, Emily's blind, and we forgot that once she resurrects, I guess she gets cured from the virus, and her blindness goes away.
Yeah, because we find that out later in that cutscene. But when she goes, "Yeah, I'm teaching you how to read," we both go, "This was an entire plot point on why we had to go back to get it." Like, what the fuck, Capcom? But it turns
We
out
already used her because she could read. What are you talking about?
Like, also,
just
just
us
because her
being
eyes
stupid.
are cured doesn't mean she stops knowing Braille. Like, she can still read Braille. I love Capcom's writing sometimes. It's...
I still love that line. My powers! Like, okay, suddenly we're in like a B 80s horror movie.
There's a real problem in this game, in retrospect, where someone is about to do something and someone goes, hey, wait, that's a bad idea. It just gets interrupted. Because before he cures himself by accident, before Xeno does it, is Grace starts to tell him that Elpis isn't what you're thinking is. It's going to cure you. Like,
yeah, nobody's a good listener in these games.
But it's
even in the beginning, Grace's mom was like, just hurry up, just come with me. Wait, Mom, tell me all about that. And then she gets stabbed in the neck. It's like, why don't you listen? Nobody listens in these
Grace
fucking
is a Redditor,
games.
so I don't know what you were expecting. Because if you look at the laptop in the hotel scene, she's on Reddit.
Yeah, well, I don't know why that means she couldn't listen or figure out a simple puzzle that she could have just she could have just hit any random buttons for 5 minutes and figured that out. She didn't need to drag that little girl through that horrible monster hospital. It was just some goofy stuff that really, that especially that puzzle with the blind thing, that really that got me.
It was that, and then at the end here, even she's teaching how to read, and we're like, but what? Like, this is a huge.
It makes sense in retrospect, at least
to an extent, because I didn't even think about the fact that like she still knows Braille, she can still read Braille.
Is it every game they end up adopting a little girl, whoever the hero is? Is that the trope?
They've done it. What? 2 does it. 2 does it. And this one does it.
What about 4? Doesn't he hang out with Sherry forever? Or no, that's not. Wait,
that's not a little girl. I would not call Ash.
Okay, whatever.
But like I said, Leon has a problem with having to save blonde chicks.
Yeah, he's a hero. All right, I think that's pretty much all I got. I will probably think of stuff as soon as I stop recording. That's how that usually goes.
No, only one time.
Every time. I was really disappointed with the submachine gun. I knew I would be, but I still did it, and I was super disappointed. As always, they always suck. The shotgun's always the best. I like the crafting. The crafting ended up not being a pain in the ass. It was kind of weird to like just start towards the end. Every time I killed something, the point to grab the blood from them was right at their nuts. And so it would just look like she'd reach down and stab every enemy in the nuts for a little bit after they were dead. That was kind of funny.
Blood is stored in the balls.
Yeah, apparently.
Giving a new name for the new meaning to the name liquor.
The liquors are a cool design. I've always been a bigger fan of the hunters because I remember Resident Evil 1, that one had the hunters, and I had never played the game before. And I was running at full health down a hallway and I heard something and I went, what is that? And then because the camera angles are static, it just flew from off camera and it crit me in the face and I died instantly. I was like, that's fantastic. I love that.
Oh yeah, shout outs to you getting set back 45 minutes. Because you went, because right after I finished explaining about the saving works, the Grace, you need to manually save because you don't have my auto saves like Leon, where you go,
yes,
do I need to save? Probably not. Yeah, probably, but I'm not going to yet. It walks down the hallway, dies to an insta kill.
Yeah, that happened. Well, because like in all the other ones, you'd get a ranking based on how many saves you did, and I didn't think I needed to because so far I only died in the game, like actually trying on things, like less than half a dozen times. I never really got sent back that far. Although the guy shooting, I didn't like the zombies shooting at you or the guy shooting at you. That never felt good.
The mortars
there's no way to
your
really
day up. That
the which one?
The mortars. You died like 4 times to the mortars.
Yeah. Yeah, that felt really unfair until you said just shoot him. I was like, I can't just shoot him.
Can't you just see the first dude and shoot him?
When the first time I went through that area, I saw the guy up top and I was like, I could shoot at him, but it's probably some like cut. A lot of the stuff I did was based on my previous Resident Evil history, where I'm like, I could probably shoot him, but I don't think it'll do anything, or another guy will just replace him immediately. Like, and that's not what happened. You could just shoot the guy.
Because the funny thing is, a lot of the times where I was thinking stuff is literally because of previous games, like the bulldozer sequence. I was like, why don't you just shoot him? Because that's happened before in Resident Evil games, where like someone tries to run you down with a vehicle and you just shoot the driver. And then Mr. X beam, the way you just stun him after enough damage. And I was like, I don't think you're supposed to do this yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then some of the older ones, like Resident Evil 3, the original Resident Evil 3, like Nemesis would come after you, and every time you were able to kill him in the little fights before the final fight with him, like you would get like magnum ammo or, something totally worth killing him for. So I guess it's hard to keep like my mind in the correct continuity of games, because there's remakes and movies, and like I said, half the time I was thinking of movie continuity when I was trying to. It was nice to have you around to explain. No, Fliz, that's the movie. This is what happened in the games. Which is weird. Like you said, it's my favorite series of all times, and I could not tell you.
And I'm asking like
more.
Yeah, if like I'm talking like I wonder. Oh, so Spencer sounds like he's involved, and you're like, who's Spencer? And it's like one of the most important characters lore wise.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the story of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know 1, 2, and 3. That's it, and not even the remakes, just the originals. That's it. So. Anyway, Resident Evil always holds a special place in my heart. I will continue to watch every movie and play every game. Not the Revelations, not those chapter things. I'm not playing those. I tried. I'm not doing it. I played Zero. I played Code Veronica. I played Survivor. I beat all of them. I just the chapter based thing I did not like at all. I don't know why. So I will always say yes to Resident Evil aside from those. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
You've contributed so much. I feel like
that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. Every day.
What a hero. We should get you. I want you to play a horror. I've never seen you play a horror game. I want to see it. I want to hear you scream.
I don't scream. That's the thing. Like, I don't ever yell.
He just bitches out immediately, like as soon as anything starts going wrong.
It's not entertaining.
Like literally, he's not joking when he says he hid in a closet. Like he hid in the closet for like 10 minutes in the baby sequence and ate for the first time before. I'm like, just go, dude. You have to go.
It's a big baby. You gotta hide.
It's scary, and they took away my gun.
Oh, I mean, I really enjoyed like the horror section of this. It was I think it was this game, because there's a point where the fire truck, you're in an empty dark hallway, and then you kick a fire truck, or it just goes on its own. I think that happened in this game. But that also happened in Ludo, and we thought it was pretty cool in that game too. So I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all I have. If that's all you guys have, we'll call it there and move on with our lives. I got to record some more footage of the game to put as the background. I don't know if there's mods out yet.
There's probably mods, but I don't think they're the type you want to put in a video.
No,
because
God damn it,
I know the internet.
First mod, nude, big girl.
Whoa, big lady.
Nude Victor.
Big lady.
Hunk is a hunk.
Hunk and hunk. All right. Well, in that case, if you have any questions or comments or disagree with any of the things we said, please let us know. I like to fight with people about video games. Hit us up at Giant Enemy Crab Pod at gmail.com. Or leave a comment. Leave a like. That'd be cool. Or we're on Twitter and Blue Sky and TikTok and all the things. So hit us up there. Other than that, we will catch you next time. I don't know what we're doing next week. Probably news.
It's usually news.
Yeah, there's usually news. We'll find some. Anyway, we'll catch you then. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Later.